Hello, our question for today is: do you think people your age are fairly represented in media and news? Short answer: no. Not everyone talks brain rot like how our age is seen in movies or series that suddenly talk like, yeah, that shit is so Sigma, bro. I don't think anybody talks like that, especially in the real world or in a way that people talk with one another. I think maybe in like during cringe talk, like the ones that you have with your friends when you just kind of dumb down everything that you're doing for the sake of being humorous. But the way that we are being represented in the media is like we're some kind of dummies, and it's not that. I think it is just heavily influenced but by what they see in TikTok or like what is mainstream, like the popular streamers these days. But you have to understand, not everything that's popular represents what is true. It's just that it's what captivates a lot of audience, but it is not what is happening. At least in the humorous part of social media, that these directors or producers or writers seems to be getting it. That's why there's this meme that goes around like these producers just get everything from TikTok, therefore they don't really know what it's like to write a proper character that represents a certain age group. And it's just so funny to think about that they tend to just dumb down everyone in our age group. And by our age group, I'm talking about like in the Gen Z and in the millennials also. And also maybe in the Gen Alpha, because I think Gen Alphas are represented much more heavier than Gen Zs. But I don't know about that. That's just from my own perspective. So I think that no, we're not represented right. I think we should be represented as something more innovative. That's kind of counterintuitive to say because everything that is being spread around in TikTok or like any other social media platforms are like just brain rot stuff, like with the Sigma, even if it's just a humorous touch. But I think our age group is much more innovative and breaks out from the culture that is very toxic, especially in the generation of our parents. Like, for example, we tend to hear from older groups of people that violence is very normalized in that kind of parenting. However, I think our generation is much more seeing that as something that is wrong. It has always been wrong, but I think we are more outspoken in setting the fact that it is wrong. Therefore, we tend to spread out gentle parenting much more. A lot of influencers are doing that with their kids and they're sharing it to social media to kind of show how different a child can be based on their parenting style that they received. Another thing is that we are innovative when it comes to in a political aspects. This video is not gonna get political. I'm just saying that we are more woke. There's this stigma already, probably by the older generation, that younger people like us are woke in a way that we're just siding with what's popular. But I think that no, we are much more learned. We tend to be more educated, thankfully, in a way that we want to know the truth in things that is important for us. Like, for example, in the government, what is wrong with the people that are leading us? What is wrong with having this kind of political decision to not only to the present things but to the future generations as well? So I think we must be represented in a way that we are improving as a society. This video is not gonna get edited, that's why I have to slow down my society because I feel like it's also kind of cringe to say. But our culture, it's much more open. It's getting a lot healthier and more inclusive to a lot of types of people, and it's lessening the stigmas surrounding different kinds of words that shouldn't even be stigmatized. Thank you.